What's the ugliest thing you've ever seen? And please, don't tell me it's your ex. I do feel pity for you, but today I'm going to show you some more cringe, so grab a beverage, sit back and enjoy the ride because it's going to get ugly. Yeah, you got the exact point. I will take you on a tour of the ugliest cars ever made. From their bizarre designs to their questionable color choices, each car will make you wonder what the designers were thinking. And if beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, these cars must have been designed for blind people. Nah man, I'm not exaggerating. You can decide this yourself by seeing the weird Pontiac Aztek. It looks like a car caught in a tornado, came out looking like a boxy spaceship. Not to mention the color scheme of some models is just hideous. It looks like someone gave a box of crayons to a toddler and said, "Go wild."
That'll be a written apology. Oh, look how big you are.
It's no surprise that this car was only in production from 2001 to 2005. Thank God manufacturers soon realized how ugly it was. But wait, I think the Pontiac cringe didn't end there, because General Motors introduced the Theta platform Pontiac Torrent soon after. It's like the designers took the Aztek and said, let's make something even uglier. And they succeeded. This car looks like someone tried to fuse a Pontiac Aztek with a tank. It has a boxy, unappealing design that could make anyone cringe. The only good thing about this car is that it's not being produced anymore. But don't worry, the Aztek is not alone. The AMC Gremlin is another car that deserves a strong swipe left. It's a car that looks like it was designed by someone who never took an art class. And what's up with the name anyways? Gremlin? Did they want to name it after a mythical creature that brings bad luck? But let's be honest, you'd rather walk than be seen driving in this car, right? But wait, nothing can be more embarrassing than seeing yourself sitting in a Suzuki X90. It's a car that looks like it has an identity crisis. Is it a two-door SUV or a sports car? The designers couldn't decide, so they combined the worst of both worlds. This resulted in a car that looks like it's trying to be a transformer but failed miserably. Or would I say that designers wanted to create a design that no one would ever dare to steal, and they succeeded with that in distinction. Anyways, it's not our concern anymore, so let's move on and let me take you on a toaster ride. Yeah, don't rewind it, you heard right. I'm talking about the Nissan Cube, a toaster on wheels. And not the fancy kind of toaster, it's the one that you'd find at a thrift store that still uses a dial to set the temperature. And the windows are so small, it's like driving around in a submarine. So if you're claustrophobic, don't agree with your friends to sit in a Nissan Cube. And if you're really unlucky enough to have experience sitting in a Nissan Cube, you'll want to take revenge. And what's worse than being seated in a Reliant Robin? This car is so ugly that even Mr. Bean couldn't make it look good. It's a three-wheel car that looks like a bathtub on wheels. It's not even aerodynamic, so you can forget about taking it on the highway. The Robin was a popular car in the UK in the 1970s, but that's probably because it was cheap and people couldn't afford anything else. And if you thought the Robin was bad, wait until you see the Fiat Multipla. This car looks like a bug that's been squished, stretched, and then put on wheels. It's a 6-seater car with 3 rows of seats, making it look like a minivan on steroids. The headlights are placed in the middle of the car, making it look like it's wearing sunglasses. It's no wonder this car was only produced from 1998 to 2010. I'm pretty sure the designers didn't even bother to take it for a test drive before releasing it. I forgot to mention the SsangYong Rodius when talking about ugliness. I don't know, but when I look at the SsangYong Rodius, all I see is a giant frog relaxing after eating a group of crickets. What's more miserable, the weird sloping design or the bulbous shape that makes this car look like a lumpy potato on wheels? Even though I'm a potato lover, let's talk about something tutti frutti like the Nissan S Cargo. It looks like a minivan that got shrunk in the wash, and the colors, yikes. It's like designers couldn't decide on one color, so they used all of them. No wonder this car never took off, because who would want to be seen driving something that looks like a clown? But hey, if you're looking for a vehicle that would make people stare, this might be the one for you. Just be prepared for all the attention you get for all the wrong reasons. And if you really want something with little to no class, the Plymouth Prowler is here for you. The Prowler looks like a car designed by someone under the influence of psychedelic hypnosis. The front end is so long and pointed that it seems like it could stab someone. And the front crocodile shape of the car would make Steve Irwin proud. A tail that wags when you turn on the engine is the only thing that's missing. Anyways, let's jump back to our super cool era and see what it has for us. Oh, here it is. The Sin S1 is a car with all geometrical shapes thrown together in the worst possible way. The sharp angles and awkward lines make it look like a transformer in its initial stages of transformation. And if that's not bad enough, it also has a pretty high price tag. You have to pay a premium price for a car that looks like it was designed by a 10-year-old with a ruler and a compass. Wow, what a deal. I'm pretty sure you've seen the Volkswagen Type 181. This car is an example of how to ruin a perfectly good car. It looks like a mismatch of Jeep and a Beetle. Maybe the designers could make up their minds about what type of car they wanted. And let's not forget the colors. You may have it in any shade as long as it's beige. It's a good thing that they stopped production in 1983. Wait, did you really just say that these abominations are still being made? I get your point. You must be talking about the 2003 Smart Roadster. And no, not the Tesla Roadster. This car is anything but smart. It looks like a car trying too hard to be cute but ends up being a hot mess. The awkwardly shaped front combined with the tiny wheels make it look like a toy car you give a toddler to play with. And let's not forget about the Reliant safety wheels, which is supposed to be a safety feature but looks like a roll cage that was added on as an afterthought. Well, that concludes our ugly ride in some ugly cars. But don't worry, there are plenty more to discover and laugh about, so grab your buddies and make a game out of it. Go on a scavenger hunt for the ugliest car in your town and see who can find the winner. And if you happen to be driving one of these cars, don't worry, I won't judge you too much. Just remember, it's not about the car, it's about the person behind the wheel. Happy driving.